Now, this could have been a serious case of black on black on black crime. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another video. Welcome to the channel. Now, I'm pretty sure some of you might have heard that the director of this movie, here's why I'm wearing the t-shirt, not one of my favorite Marvel movies anyways, and the part 2 is coming out soon, was detained sometime in January, but the story is only coming out now. The reason why this guy was detained was he was mistaken for a bank robber. Yes, Ryan Coogler, the director of Black Panther, was mistaken for a bank robber. Now, you would be wondering to yourself, this kind of story, a black man in America being detained at a bank where he wanted to cash his own money, and most of this mainstream media aren't jumping on this story. You're not hearing about it in the prime time. Something smells fishy out here, probably because this story doesn't fit the narrative that it should fit. Now, I've seen a lot of reports on this particular story, and the reports are missing bits and pieces of information. So on this particular video, I'm going to piece those information for you together so that you guys can understand why it's not being blown out of proportion by many of this mainstream media. So before we get into it, I'm going to play you a clip of how CBS actually reports this, and then we'll go from there. But as I do, please take 1 second to smash that like button down below, because it's massively important to the video, and I am seriously, sincerely appreciative of it. Now, without further ado, let's check out how CBS reports on this, and let's go from there.
But in January, he found himself being handcuffed at a Bank of America in Atlanta. It turns out he was falsely detained after a teller mistook him for a bank robber. Bank of America has apologized. Molalengi has more.
Minutes after passing a note to a bank teller asking her to be discreet over a money withdrawal, filmmaker Ryan Coogler is approached by police.
Hey, sir. Hey, man. Do me a favor, man. Come this way. What's going on, man?
Both of the officers draw their weapons before placing handcuffs on a surprised Coogler. They were there responding to a possible bank robbery in progress. Coogler was in a Bank of America branch in Atlanta, where he's been filming the sequel to Black Panther. According to the police report, Coogler passed a withdrawal slip to a bank teller with a note written on the back, asking her to be discreet when handing him $12,000 in cash. After being cuffed, Coogler was escorted to a squad car.
If you just run my name, you'll understand why you should take me off these cuffs. C-O-O-G-O-E-R, just put it in Google.
From the back seat of the squad car, Coogler explains to police he was trying not to call attention to himself in withdrawing such a large amount of cash.
If I don't write down on a note how much I want out, and then I don't want it ran through the money counter right there at the desk, the whole bank ends up looking at me.
Coogler was uncuffed minutes later. CBS News reached out to Bank of America and didn't hear back. But a spokesperson told Variety, "We deeply regret that this incident occurred. It never should have happened, and we have apologized to Mr. Coogler." Through a rep, Coogler told CBS News this situation should never have happened. However, Bank of America worked with me and addressed it to my satisfaction, and we have moved on. For CBS Mornings, Molalengi.
It's unfortunate because I know Ryan Coogler was thinking.
Now, before we head into what these anchors want to say, I want you guys to take a look at how they actually handled the situation, and then we'll go from there.
If I give her my withdrawal slip, fill out everything, and just on the back say, be discreet, because I don't want everybody in the bank see me walking out with $12,000 for my own safety, I feel like he did everything right.
He did everything right, and Bank of America says it should not have happened. That's the bottom line.
Can you imagine being detained for taking out your own money?
I cannot, but sadly it happens. And even if you're a famous director, it can happen to you, and we all know why.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
Now, you guys, you saw that, you heard that, you saw how blasé these people were. This is Ryan Coogler we're talking about. He's a big deal in Hollywood. He is directing a Marvel movie. That's a big deal. I don't care what you feel about these movies. I don't like this movie particularly. I don't know if the part 2 is going to be good. And some of these, movies are as woke AF. It doesn't matter. They're still big deals. All of Marvel movies, all of Disney's Marvel movies are big deal. And this guy is a big deal, happening to be a black man who is a big deal. And these guys are just a bit blasé about it. I was like, nah, this is a little bit fishy. Why are they so blasé about it? And then I started asking myself, how come CNN isn't on this? And I asked myself another question, how come MSNBC isn't on this, or all the other big news network? None of them were really talking about this. So I was like, I'm going to do my own due diligence here, and I'm going to do my own little research, because when I was watching the whole body footage, the whole body cam footage of this entire debacle, one of the key questions that Ryan Coogler wanted to know was, who made the call to the police officers? And if you take a good look at that story, what was fishy in that story is none of them talked about the person that made the call to the police officers. So in my own personal opinion, I was assuming that it could have been a blonde hair, blue-eyed person that actually made that phone call to the police. So after doing a little bit of research, I went on CNN and I caught footage of this woman who was being interviewed by police officers, the person that made the call, and this is what they kind of look like.
You want to make a withdrawal? So which account? He said, he just kept pointing, he's like, look at the note. So I'm like, okay. He did give me his ID, it was a California ID, but my stomach started turning, like, I'm like, okay, it just seems odd, because you're making a withdrawal, but you can't get a note on the back of your deposit slip. Keep telling me, look at the note, but you don't want to talk to me.
Didn't I say it? Didn't I tell you guys? Blonde hair, blue-eyed woman. Oh, hell no, she wasn't. She's a black woman. She's a goddamn black woman. Explains a whole lot. Explains the reasons why CNN and MSNBC ain't jumping on this story. It explains the reason why this happened in January, but it's only being reported in March. It explains every single reason why those people on CNN, those anchors on CBS, those anchors on CBS were so blasé about it, because it was a black woman that called the cops on this guy. Now, as you can see, those cops were a little bit on the edge. They were a little bit agitated. They drew their gun, and anything could have happened to Ryan Coogler, and he could have joined the actor Chadwick Boseman, rest in peace. He could have joined him in the great beyond. Now, it didn't happen like that, thank the Lord, but just imagine if it was a white bank teller that actually made this call. If it was a white bank teller that actually made this call, what do you think would be happening right now? You would have heard Don Lemon said, wow, the racism in America is, it's unbearable. This oppression is just too much. You would have heard Joy Reid come up with something. This is white bank teller syndrome or something like that. White bank teller fragility, fear syndrome or something. You would have heard them come up with all sorts of reasons why they did this. But because it's a bank teller, zip, and I can guarantee you, if this thing had turned south and if Ryan Coogler had been shot, you would have seen CNN and MSNBC have Don Lemon and Joy Reid spitting right-wing talking points like, why didn't Ryan Coogler comply? Why didn't he comply? Because if your guys didn't know this, but I know this very well, every single police that I saw on the body cam footage were black. The police that handcuffed him was black. As he was walking down the corridor, there was a black woman who told the black police officer,
Good job, guys.
good job. The person that called the police was black. The bank manager that was reported to, that was shown on that video there, that was directing the police and whatnot, is black. They're all black. This is why I said this is a black on black crime, because it's a black woman that called the police on a black man, innocent by the way, and the police that came over were blacks. And if this guy was shot, nobody would have said nothing, because when a black person shoots another black person, it doesn't matter. And this is the reason why Black Lives Matter were not there today. This is the reason why you didn't see Benjamin Crump. This is the reason why this news wasn't reported to the public in January. It's also the reason why Ryan Coogler himself just said, hey, don't worry about it. It's fine. It's fine. Bank of America, it's fine. But I also need to mention that Ryan Coogler also said that this would have never happened to him. This has never happened to him in any other Bank of America other than this one. This is the first time it's happening to him, and he's been going to several Bank of America. So at this point in time, I'm telling you, the execs of Bank of America would be telling themselves, oh, thank goodness we went for affirmative action, because I think right now, many of these people, I can see why. Now, I'm not saying exactly that was a little bit of a joke there, but I'm not saying that they hired that lady for affirmative action with affirmative action. I'm actually saying that I can see why many of these banks or many of these companies would be actually advocating for affirmative action, because right now, if that hiring was affirmative action, it just saved the bank's life, I tell you. It just saved the bank's life. But the problem with affirmative action is that you would also get situations like this with incompetent people like this particular bank teller endangering people's life because they weren't professional enough to understand what a person was telling them and that they weren't really actually in any danger. But anyways, you guys, black lives don't matter when another black life is the person that endangered their life to Black Lives Matter or any of these news outlets. We all know this. We all know that they don't care. We all know that the black lives that they claim matter don't really matter to these people. Even Ryan Coogler himself wouldn't complain because it goes against the narrative that even Hollywood is pushing. But anyways, you guys, let me know what you think about this. Let me know what you think. If this person was a white person, do you think that Ryan Coogler would have made a bigger deal out of it? Do you think that TMZ and all these other mainstream outlets would have made a bigger deal out of this? Or do you think maybe they would have treated it the same way? Let me know what you think about any of the aspects in the comment section below. I want to thank you guys for watching this video. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, please smash that like icon down below and all the other icons as well. And I'll catch you guys on the next video. Till the next time that I see you, take care, peace, and Sayaz out of here. Ibombe!